Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Fun and Fancy Free. This is a 1947, it's what they call one of the package films. It's along with Three Caballeros and the other one that had Donald and Jose and everybody else. Saludos Americanos, something like that. Brain did not work good. But yeah, this is basically the package films. They were all around World War II, and some of them were used to promote, let's say, alliances with certain South American countries that could have gone to the Nazis. There's a whole lot of history with all that. This one, I'm not sure exactly what the purpose of it was, other than to combine two different stories, bridged by Jiminy Cricket from the Pinocchio film. He actually sings a song, fancy free. He actually sings a song that was almost in the Pinocchio film, but it actually appears here instead. Yeah, it's this movie is about an hour and 14 minutes long. It only has two main stories, the first of which is called Bongo, and it's narrated by Dinah Shore. Now, again, if you're really young, you don't know who that is, probably, more than likely. But those of us who are slightly bit older, she's even a little bit before my time, but I still know who she is. But she sings and tells the story of Bongo, who's a circus bear. And he is in the limelight. He's the star of the circus. He does all sorts of tricks on a unicycle and tight wire, and he does everything. And the moment he steps off stage, he's in shackles. So he is in a gilded cage, tired of seeing the world go by from the train. Speaking of circus trains and everything else, they very nearly had a crossover with Dumbo. Like Dumbo was going to appear in a scene or something like that, but they had to whittle it down, and so Dumbo didn't appear in this. This movie was almost just had a lot of connections between showing that they all lived in the same universe. Ooh, the Disney Cinematic Universe. Maybe they all are connected. Kind of the way the Pixar films are supposedly all connected. And of course the Marvel Universe is connected, and the Star Wars Universe is connected, but not to each other. That we know of yet. Anyway, back to this. Bongo finds a way, after being frustrated immensely at being trapped in a rolling train car all of his life when he's not on stage. He makes his way into the wilderness, escapes, and he is free, fancy free. He's having a great time. Some of the woodland animals are watching, as he's a bit naive about certain things, but for the most part, he's having a great time. For the most part. By the way, it looks like Chip and Dale appear in this. I don't know. There's two chipmunks, like a pair, that appear on screen together, and that might be an appearance of Chip and Dale. I'm not sure. However, I've found out that one of the other bears that appears in this is actually a rival of that shows up as a rival of theirs in their series. Again, it's all connected. So, anyway, Bongo seems to be having a fairly trouble-free life until when he's splashing around. Oh, well, no, things do go wrong. Things do go wrong at one point where he can't handle the weather, and it's dark, and it's scary, and it's just crazy, and when he thinks it's all falling apart, that's when he sees, I think it's Luella or something, I can't remember, but it's a girl bear, cute little girl bear, and she's they're crazy about each other right off the bat, as bears are, and I guess, but they start showing how much they love each other, and until she slaps him. He doesn't understand why. She slaps him again. He's really confused, and this is when he suddenly realizes, when her slap goes astray and hits another bear who is very jealous of their relationship, this gigantic bear that I was talking about earlier, this big bear, well, he slaps her back, and turns out they're now kind of betrothed, or about to be betrothed. They are now a couple. She's not happy with it, but, you know. So, beyond that, that's when today I learned, along with Bongo, that bears show affection for each other by slapping each other. I don't know if that's real. I don't know if that's taken from reality. That seems weird if it was, but it could be true. All I know is it's the turning point. There is square dancing with bears. There is a big song and dance thing. And yeah, Bongo, what's he going to do? Is he going to battle this giant bear for her affections and then smack her around a bit to show his love? It seems not like a great idea, but I guess for love. Anyway, I won't tell you how that all ends up, but you can pretty much figure, how it goes. It's just the animation. At first I wasn't like too excited about it. It wasn't really, too interesting, but as I got further and further into it with just how they depict him on his unicycle moving through a shot from close up to far away, and everything, just all the other animals, and how sometimes he's juggling different things for 1947 and back in that era. It's just, it looks beautiful. It's just great. So I really enjoyed the Bongo story a lot, and it's funny, and it's just weird. It is weird, the slapping thing, So yeah, Bongo is the first half, literally about 38 minutes into it, and then and by the way, it's narrated by Dinah Shore, because Jiminy Cricket pulled out a record on the shelf, and because he saw a sad doll. He has a thing for sort of living toys like Pinocchio, but there's a sad-looking, non-animated. She's animated, but she's not animate. Animate? Anyway, sad-looking girl doll and a sad bear doll, and he puts on a record, and it's Dinah Shore telling the story of Bongo. And when it's over, the bear and the girl dolls are smiling. So, but they're still not animate. Okay, either way. But then he starts going through the person's mail who happens to live there and probably owns those toys. Her name's Luana Patton, and she has a birthday party. She has a birthday party for herself across the street that only involves a man and his ventriloquist dummies. This is not normally a party that parents would let their kid go to on their own. Just going to tell you that straight out. Not now, maybe back in 1947. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a good idea. Yes, it's Edgar Bergen. Edgar Bergen is known. He was the biggest ventriloquist artist of his time. He was a huge star. He had a radio show. He just, although I don't understand how the ventriloquist thing really works when you don't see the puppet on the radio. It's just a guy doing different voices. That's all it is. There's no, what's the puppetry? I guess when television came around, or movies and things like that, he was seen more. But yeah, he's got Mortimer, and he's got Charlie McCarthy. Charlie McCarthy is probably his most famous puppet. He's such a smartass. He's actually super funny. Mortimer is just kind of dumb kind of guy. So they're working both ends of the intelligence spectrum, and he, even on camera, when he doesn't really have to do it, they could have overdubbed any of this. You can see his mouth moving as he's performing the puppet. They're doing it, But he and Jiminy Cricket is at this point is just hanging out, eating cake, and overhearing everything that Edgar's doing for this girl. First, he has a mouth puppet. I can't remember the name of the puppet. I'm sure he's done it before. Anyway, it's a female, and then he offers to kiss it, and it disappears. Yeah, this was entertainment in the 1940s, so come on. Anyway, he starts telling a story about these three starving. Well, let me get this straight. He talks about a very beautiful land that was overseen by a singing harp. A singing harp that looks a little bit like Cinderella, with the same haircut. Sings beautifully. The land is green and lush. And then once suddenly a hand comes out of the darkness and takes her away, and everything goes to ruin. The crops dry up, the rivers dry up, the land goes to crap. And that's when we get to the story of three farmers living in their house, and it's Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, as you can probably see right there. You were expecting to see them at some point, but this is their version of the Jack and the Beanstalk story. To me, this has a number of little iconic scenes in it. The scenes of Mickey slicing like bread so thin you can see through it, like paper, like sheets of plastic, and then he slicing up a single bean that they can all share. But I love when Donald finally snaps. He's got this crazy look in his eyes. I just want to screen grab that and save it. I'll get a tattoo of it. I don't know. It looks great. It's some very, doesn't feel very Disney. It looks like somebody would have taken Disney art and just made it creepy. And yeah, that scene, Donald scene rocks. If you watch nothing else, just watch Donald losing his shit, losing his stuff. So, so yeah, they're starving and they don't know what to do, and they decide, well, Donald starts going for the cow. There's a cow outside that hasn't been given milk. So what are they going to do? Donald takes the axe from the wall. He's about to make some hamburgers. The other guys stop him. And then, of course, what I said about earlier, being this the Jack and the Beanstalk type of story, Mickey decides to sell the cow for some magic beans. And we all know where that story goes from there. I am not going to go any further in telling you that story, except to tell you that giant also is voiced by the same guy who did Sneezy from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I did my research, at least on some of the stuff that doesn't really matter. But this honestly seems like it's so 1940s. It has a feel. It's so pre-rock and roll. It's just all big band and vocalists. Obviously, you have Dinah Shore. Let's see who else we had. Why can't I find it? Oh, the Kingsmen singers, the Dinning Sisters singers, the Starlighters. So yeah, it's a who's who of singers throughout this. Although I really couldn't tell them apart. I don't know. It's just me. But yeah, this is one of those old RKO Pictures type of releases. It's the battle with the giant, who is not exactly the threatening giant you think he is, but he is bad news for our boys. So it's just a great confrontation. And of course, as Edgar's telling the story, Charlie keeps cutting in, and Mortimer is just dim and scared of everything. So yeah, it's a fun little setup. It's a different way of telling the story, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, this is, if you want to see another one of these classics, not all these classics necessarily hit. Not all of them really translate well to modern humor or anything else. This one's not one of those, and this one really sticks the landing, let's say. It's, if you get a chance, if you want to see one of the classics, fun and fancy free on Disney Plus. You could do a whole lot worse. This is one of the fun ones. By the way, just so you're clear, this birthday party sequence with Edgar and Luana, and the puppets, the ventriloquist dummies. That's all live action. So they go from cartoon to live action to cartoon, and then sort of mixture at some point. So this is kind of what Disney likes to do. They do the mixture of live action and animation. Give it a shot. You may just want to stick with the new stuff and stuff you know, but if you want some classics, you can't go wrong with this, especially in a family. If you're looking for something family friendly and different to watch, that stars our boys here. But yeah, Donald scene, Donald going nuts, my favorite. All right, let's pick tomorrow's episode. 762. That's way up there. We may have already had this one. We've had a few of the top level ones. Yep, we've had it. Yep. 762 was... Your Friend the Rat. Yep. All right. That was with Remy from Ratatouille. Nope, come back here. All right, here we go. 762. 7. Ooh. Wow, talk about extremes. We've had very few low numbers. We've had number 1, which was 10 Things I Hate About You a couple weeks ago. That, obviously, you can't get lower than that. But hey, holy cow. We are getting a classic right here. I have to admit, I have not seen it. If I have, I don't remember it. I was probably just too young to remember, but holy cow. This is one of the live-action classics from Disney. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You're getting a lot of old-school stuff here. All right. Yeah. By the way, if anybody's wondering what those words over on the right-hand side are, those are the rules I wrote for myself to keep when I'm making these selections. So, yeah, if you happen to freeze frame it and go, what does he put? Yeah, it's my rules for me. So, anyway, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from 1954 on the next episode of the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.